Welcome to the AIR We Weeb. I'm Shauna.
I'm Matt.
I'm Tim.
Leyo. And
And
I'm
All right.
Az is singing because he knows how much I love this opening song. This was the only time that I listened to it every single time, pretty much. I just loved it. But with that aside, we're reviewing Kiznaiver today.
Yeah.
Weeb, you got a describe-y for us?
Yeah, of course.
You have
Of
a
course
weebopsis?
I have a weebopsis. So Kiznaiver is about a group of 7 teens that are surgically connected to share each other's pain, and they're told that they have to make it through the summer together as what's called a Kiznaiver, tasked with clearing emotional missions assigned to them to increase their bond.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Can we talk about how freaking weird this show is?
It was kind
It's a trigger show. If anyone in the anime community knows what that means, it means it gets weird.
Triggered, they did Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill, right?
They did not do Gurren Lagann, but most of the team worked on Gurren Lagann.
Okay, because the animation looks like Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill. That's what I thought when I was
They
watching
did do
it.
Kill la
Yeah.
Kill.
I love the
Do
animation,
Little Witch
though.
Academia.
It's not as weird as some other ones we've watched.
My
I don't
Little
know.
You should
Monsters.
watch Inferno Cop by them.
It's-
I'm gonna just skip ahead to recommendations.
What's weird about this show to me is that it's hard to get a baseline on what it is. Like, for the first couple episodes, I'm like waiting for it to get intense, but it really does just end up being anime Breakfast Club, like Az said. Like, it's just focused on their relationships, not on the fact that a really terrifying government experiment is being done on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everyday life. Government
Everyday life.
experiments.
It's fine.
That was something that I think we kind of addressed in the group chat today, was that, like, it doesn't do a great job of explaining things, like what's going on, but it's kind of like, you kind of get it.
Yeah, I didn't mind that so much. Once I let go of my preconceived ideas of what the show was going to be and just let the weirdness and what the show was wash over me, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I was just very surprised with the direction that it took. I liked it, though.
Fun show.
Yeah, I liked it overall.
I enjoyed the characters and how they interacted with each other, but I've seen the entire show now and I don't really know what it was about.
I understand
Their
that feeling.
friendship and bonds and stocks.
I enjoyed it, but it was weird.
It does that weird ham-fisted thing that happens in a lot of anime where it's really trying to be philosophical and preachy about something, but it
Yes.
actually ends up saying nothing about that thing.
Especially towards the end.
Yeah, it really does that a lot in regards to what it's saying about friendship, is it talks a whole lot, but it doesn't say anything. We can't go into it too much because this is the non-spoiler section of the show, but overall, would you guys say that you liked it?
No,
Yes.
I didn't dislike it, but
Mhm.
it just kind of bored me, to be honest.
There was not enough explosions and
There
trying
was
hard for
one. There was 2 explosions in the whole show. That's not enough.
I liked... Oh, go ahead.
Go
Tim.
ahead.
No, you go.
No,
Okay.
you go.
I think I liked it overall. I thought the comedy was a surprising thing for me in the show, because I wasn't expecting it to be all that funny, but like from the beginning I was kind of like, oh, this is actually, there's some funny stuff in it. And I think the characters I thought were interesting. I really liked the art and animation, but I did not like the opening.
How dare you? I think that was its strong part for me, was the characters. It was really just a character show going through their sort of experience of becoming friends and developing different bonds with each other. And that's not what I was expecting the show to be, so it took me by surprise. But I did like it a lot. I thought the tone was really unique. The structure was pretty unique. I was a little confused by what it was trying to do, but once I just let it again wash over me, everything was fine. Do you guys recommend it? Would you recommend this to someone?
Well, I sort of recommended it to us, so yeah.
I would recommend it to a very specific kind of person. Like, it's not for everyone,
Yeah.
but yeah, certain people absolutely.
I would have loved this if I was in high school, but for now, it's good. I like it.
It was definitely unique. It wouldn't be my first choice to recommend to someone, but it definitely had aspects that are cool, and I think I could be persuaded to recommend it. Maybe.
If you like cool art, you
The
should
art's
watch the
great.
show.
Yeah, the art and the animation.
Because Trigger are masters at character design. Even though they sort of design the same characters over and over again, but I'm not going to go there.
All right, let's move into the spoilies announcement section. We have a new thing that we're going to do now. We're going to read in-depth synopsis.
It's a sponsor segment.
No, it isn't.
Sponsor today is Fail Squared at Nanoland.
No.
This joke will never die.
We call this the
This is
synopsis.
called a synopsis because I wrote it. So everyone, please clap for my hard work.
Don't clap. No, stop it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Look at all those peaks. Oh my god.
Okay. So I'm gonna
I
read
hate all of you.
I'm gonna read the synopsis so that everyone can know what the show is about. If you haven't watched the show and you plan to, stop listening here. For everyone else, here we go. A group of 7 teens are surgically connected to share each other's pain and told that they have to make it through the summer together as Kiznaivers, tasked with clearing emotional missions assigned to them to increase their bond. What could be a dark driving plot ends up focusing instead on the bonds of friendship, following the teens getting closer to one another through each mission. The focal point of the show follows Katsuhira, the one Kiznaiver who is unable to feel any pain, discovering that he was part of a similar experiment as a child. He soon realizes that the overseer of the current experiment is a girl named Sonozaki, who was also in the experiment with him as a child. Near the end, it's revealed that Sonozaki had absorbed all the children's pain permanently, leading the Kiznaiver researchers to continue pushing the experiment forward, so they could heal her and heal a group of children still living in the lab who were completely robbed of almost all feeling. When Katsuhira discovers this, he realizes he needs to get Sonozaki to release everyone's wounds, so that she and the rest of the children can be whole again, focusing on real bonds made between one another instead of on the Kizna bond. The show ends with Sonozaki releasing everyone's pain, the experiment ending, and the group moving forward as friends. And it's important to note that almost all of that happens in the last 3 episodes, and the previous 9 episodes is all about the bonds created.
Power of friendship.
Yeah, pretty much the power of friendship and the power of feels. Everyone starts falling in love with
Good
each other
man.
throughout the show. But that's the show. That's that. There she be.
After watching the show, from now on, we'll all share each other's pain, happiness, livelihoods.
Yeah, this show's basically should just be titled Empathy.
But
We
even
know Kiznaiver is not an anagram of empathy.
No, but it should be.
Yeah, Shauna, what are all their Enneagram types?
oh boy, I didn't even think about this. Don't spring this on me. I know. How did I not?
Yes,
How
Rachel,
have
if you're
you of
listening,
all
Someone's
people-
at
type
least
these
a
people.
4.
Oh, of
Well, there's
course.
definitely a 1. I forget all their names. Purple guy is probably a 9.
Yeah, their names are really hard.
I remember a lot of their names. I was working really hard at it.
Hisomu
I
is the
was
purple
really
guy.
trying. Also, I watched this all in a day, minus the first episode. So I watched it dubbed.
Yeah, I watched one episode of the dub, and they call the Kiznaivers Kiznaivers in the dub, and it's so weird.
That's
They
Yeah.
got the
weird.
keys to each other's hearts.
I guess
Ha.
so.
Okay, I didn't see any of the. I feel like everyone probably thinks I'm terrible and always watch dub. I just watch a lot of dub for this because I normally watch the entire show in one day for the podcast. But
I
they were
watched
calling-
this
love
all
dub.
in the sub.
They were calling her cheatery in the sub or in the dub, and I feel like this is not right.
That's not
What?
right.
How do
Chidori.
Chidori. It's like Naruto.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Chidori.
That's what I thought, and I'm like, they kept calling her cheatery, and I'm like, that sounds terrible.
Chidori.
For real, it sounded like Cheeto-ry, and I'm like, no.
Cheeto.
no.
Just
no.
1,000 birds, guys.
It's like, I haven't seen the sub, but I don't think it's Cheatery.
It's hard to pronounce her name, though. I don't know.
Chidori?
Chidori.
They don't
Chidori.
say it like Chidori, though.
You just gotta
Pretty sure they did.
watch
Chidori.
the more.
Yeah.
Takeshiro? Or Takeshiro Chidori, probably.
Yeah, I've only
So
seen
right
Chidori
wings.
and Naruto as a powerful move, not as a name.
Literally means 1,000 birds. Or something like that, right?
It does.
So
Like the sound they make?
what was to everybody? What was your best part of the show?
The animation and the art.
I like the antics. I
Yeah.
like character dramas, I guess you could call it.
The characters grew on me for sure. I didn't like them at first.
Yeah, seeing them come together was really cool because
Yeah.
they're all so different in the beginning.
Yeah, and get over like their problems.
Yeah, I liked seeing who liked who more towards the end when it was I liked the one experiment that was
triangles.
done to like force them into admitting all their feelings. I
We're
liked
learning
that
a lot about
experiment.
Shona.
Yes. I liked that because and I was kind of stressed out when I was watching because I was like, who am I going to pick for best ship for the podcast? Because like,
It's
There's only
easy.
one answer.
There's,
yeah? What is
I
it?
have mine.
What is it?
I forgot the dude's name.
It's
Mad Dog
Chidori and Tenga.
Is it?
It is.
Chidori and who?
Chidori and Tenga.
Yeah, I think I
Who's
agree
that
with
guy
that
again?
actually.
I forgot all their names pretty much.
Tenga
that
is
was
a
one
tall
of my
dude with
I don't know.
pink
Ship
hair.
No Feels is
The guy
pretty
scared
great
of
too.
dogs?
I liked
Yeah.
Honoka and
Yeah.
Yuta as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
for
good.
me, it was Tim's pick and Honoka and Yuta
Okay.
because they were just like I don't know. I just liked.
Yeah, that was a good one. Well, the girls, they call them by their first names, and the guys, they all call them by their last names.
It's so weird. Except
Yeah.
Sonozaki, they call her by her last name.
Yeah, and same with, they call Hanoka by her last name for a while, just because she doesn't want to be called by her first name.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be called Maki.
No, she does want to be called Maki, I think.
Maki's her first name, isn't it? No, it's
No,
her last name.
yeah, it's her
Dang
last
it.
name.
I gotta stop reading this on Wikipedia, man.
That was something that I wrote down about Hanoka, because she's the only character that really gets like a thorough backstory,
Yeah,
which I didn't understand why they didn't just do that with more of the characters.
yeah. I
And
was
just
looking
her.
forward to it.
Yeah.
I really liked getting to know her a lot, and then we didn't get to know everyone else. Like, it was really compelling how it started. Like, everyone say what you don't want everyone else to hear. And then the show kind of sort of diverges from that. After we get Honoka's backstory, everything gets kind of light again. And I would have liked to have, like, gotten to know everybody the way we got to know her.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me like a whole 50 episode season of this.
I didn't know where the show was going to go, and then it went there in the last 3 episodes, and I really wasn't. I was like, cool, I'm glad we get to learn about, like, the experiment with them as kids, because they've been hinting at it, like, from the beginning. But it just didn't go where I wanted it to. It just became, like, embrace the power of friendship and release the
ending.
feelings.
The ending was a little weird and a little kind of disappointing almost, because it just felt kind of, I don't know, disjointed is the right word? I don't know.
It was weird. It was like she just went crazy all of a sudden, wants to connect with everyone, goes up on top of a bridge, and he has to talk her down and tell her that the power of feelings is great, and then
Well,
everything's fine.
She's afraid that if she gives everyone back their pain,
That she'll be alone.
yeah.
But it's like, why wasn't that?
It didn't need to be upscaled to the end of the world situation.
And also, it seemed like the teachers, the researchers that we got to see knew that. So why didn't they just tell her that?
Japan's all about learning by doing and not helping their students.
I'm
If
sorry,
anime
I'm
has
not
taught me
accepting
anything.
that as an
I don't
answer
think
this
they
time.
did know that until the end. I don't remember the female researcher, what her name was.
Yeah, I don't remember their names.
But she seemed to find that out at the end when she was kind of trying to stop Nori, or what's her last name? Sonozaki, from doing that. And then the other guy was just kind of like, oh, I'm just here for you.
It just seemed kind of lame that, like, oh, what we've been trying to fix all along, you could have just fixed with a simple decision.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think they also kind of knew that, like, Agata was the only one who could stop her.
yeah. That
Mhm.
was weird, too, because so much of the show, they call him Katsuhira, and then, like, randomly, some people will call him Agata, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Stop switching.
They didn't do that in the dub. It was Katsuhira the whole time.
Which I think is a better choice. So I guess we've kind of talked about the best and worst parts of the show. What would you
No,
guys...
We haven't talked about the true best part. Those little, like, mascot guys, I forget
Oh,
their
they were
Oh,
name.
yes, the
weird.
Gomarin.
Yeah, the Gomarins.
Oh, those are so great.
That was, like,
I want those.
they were the first thing that I saw, and I was just like, oh, this is going to be one of those shows. This is going to be a weird show.
They're
Yeah.
just kind of explained to be like public servants. They just kind of go around like helping out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're also, like, work for the company.
it's
Yeah,
so
the
weird.
committee.
Yeah, they showed up, and I'm like, oh, I'm in for a ride. Okay.
In Japan, they have they actually have mascots for
Yeah.
like
Literally
every
everything.
city. Yeah, they have mascots for like everything, and there'll be a mascot of the city. So I think the idea was that the Gomerans were the mascot for that city, and then it was also used as like the costume for the public servants on top of that. And also, like Weeb said, it was literally just weird bait. Like it's just trying to be
Weird bait.
weird.
They would like kidnap him. It was so funny.
Oh, Kizu means wound or scar, and Kizuna means bond or connection.
Oh, learning.
That's not your weeb word for the day, so I hope Tim comes up with
No,
something
but
else.
it
So
is
many
close,
weeb
though.
words today.
What was we didn't get everyone's official worst point of the show. What did you hate the most about this show?
Hisomu.
Yeah, he's annoying.
Yeah, he serves no purpose just to be the masochist because it
Yeah.
deals with pain.
It was just
He's just not very interesting, and like he doesn't add anything really.
Well, it was kind of nice when he was the only one who was there for Katsuhira for that one period
Yeah.
of time. That was nice, but that was the only time he was bearable.
It's that like trope of the really weird guy who knows everything that's going on but doesn't like reveal it to everyone.
Yeah.
What did you hate most, Weeb?
it just didn't really resonate with me, I guess.
No explosions.
No
Not
explosion.
enough
There were only
explosions.
2 explosions. There wasn't a ton of working hard. There was some, but not really.
Weeb hates friendship, is what
I
I'm
do
learning.
hate friendship. No, it was just boring for me. I
Yeah.
just didn't enjoy it as a whole. Like I think I think a lot of people would love this show, but not me. It was just kind of boring.
I think it didn't hit hard enough on what it was trying to be. I feel like it
Pulled
just
some punches.
yeah, it didn't really ever find its baseline and stick to it.
Yeah.
It was just always kind of in flux, and I was just a little bit always like waiting to get the tone of the show. And then when I finally did, I was kind of like, that's it. And then they throw you for a loop again with the last 3 episodes, and you're like, okay, now it's coming. And then it's like, no, we're just gonna give you some phony philosophical nothing about friendship that means nothing. So I feel like it could have been really good, but it ended up just being like quirky and okay to me.
Strongest part, I think, was what's her name? Hanoka?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hanoka's like like the episode where they find out about her and stuff.
Yeah, about her and Ruru.
Yeah. That's probably the best, like the peak of the show.
That was like the only actual well-written storyline.
Plus, it ends with like them playing with sparklers, which is my favorite anime trope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good. It felt like we were really getting into the meat of the characters, and then the show just stops that.
Yeah.
Who was everyone's favorite?
I think that was also the peak, right, of their like friendship,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right before everything goes downhill.
Were you guys surprised that the Kizna experiment ended when it did? I think it ended at around episode 8, somewhere around there. Like, it was suddenly, summer's over, no more connection. I was surprised. I thought that would, like, go right to the end, and that it'd be this big thing.
I honestly forgot that happened.
Well, that's because I think they fast forward through like, because after they all kind of have that moment where they're hurting with each other, and then it's kind of like they fast forward through the summer, and they're like, oh, we just can't talk or see each other again.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. I think it made sense. It just surprised me. Like, the structure of this show, I never had a beat on it, and not in a good way, I feel. We talked about best ship. Anyone else have any thoughts about that? We've decided it's Tenga and Chidori. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, okay, this will lead me to best boy. My best boy is Tenga.
Fair.
That's easy.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think best girl is probably Chidori as well.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's basically just taking the best boy and the best girl
I
together.
really don't like her early though.
Why don't you
What?
like her?
She's just that annoying childhood friend that I always hate in every show.
I don't know.
So can we talk about how Tenga is literally just Kamina?
Huh?
Who?
The guy from Gurren Lagann.
I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
he
Everyone
is.
who knows Gurren Lagann knows who he is.
Oh,
Yeah.
he is.
He's just it's the same. He's just recolored. He's like an alternate fighting skin.
Oh, that's
If only I've
hilarious.
seen that.
Okay, minus Hisomu, who's everyone's least favorite character?
That was mine too.
I'm
And probably Shauna's, I think she said that.
Least favorite character.
bully kids.
all of our least favorite is Hisomu though, right?
I think so, just because it's like he's just there to be the perv,
Yeah.
and I never like that character. His character design was okay. I didn't hate looking at him. I kind of liked how jagged his shirt was, and I liked thinking about, like, wow, did you go and, like, actually cut your shirt up yourself to make it like that? And I had a nice time trying to figure that out, but I didn't.
I think I like him more than Yuta.
You like him?
More than Yuta, at least.
Really? I like Yuta.
I liked Yuta.
I like that he's, like, obsessed with himself and probably still deeply insecure.
Yeah, and he used to just be fat.
And I like that he likes... I like that he likes Hanukkah, and I don't know. I like him. I think that Hanukkah made him more interesting.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm gonna piss off Az real quick. I really didn't like Nico.
I thought you would like Nico.
Nico's annoying.
Me too. I thought we would.
I was like, ooh, weebs
fall
don't
in
like
love for
Nico.
her.
Nico's the worst. She was annoying. She was like...
But she is just like, what's her name from QQ? The one that you really liked.
Oh, Yotsuba. Yeah.
Yotsuba?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's just
kinda.
like her.
I wouldn't say she's like Yotsuba. Yotsuba's like exuberant and enthusiastic and all these things, and Nico is kind of like, I'm
Lying to
weird,
herself.
I'm quirky,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That bothered me.
She's weird and quirky on purpose because she thinks she's boring.
And she refers to herself in the third person, which I hate.
That is
I
annoying.
hate it so much. And I like, towards the end, she's like, she grew on me a little bit after her speech with the episode where they're all hurting together.
Yeah.
But
She just
she's
wants
still
to be
annoying.
friends.
Yeah,
She pretends to be weird so people will like her.
That's the one thing that bothers me, though, is that she pretends to be weird.
Yeah. I like her hair, though.
I actually thought that was kind of interesting that this is all for show. Like, she's not stupid, but she pretends to be because she wants people to like her.
I think we would have liked her a lot more if we got backstory on her. Like, we didn't ever get anything on her. All we got was what we saw, and she was purposefully annoying. And I think that if we got, like, backstory on why she was like that, she would have been way more endearing.
Well,
Yeah, she was almost like the heart of the group, really.
Yeah, and I feel like we could have felt that more.
But the whole point of the show is, like, they have to reveal their true self to each other, right? But she keeps being annoying the whole show. Like,
Maybe that is her true self.
But then they say it's not.
Oh, that reminds me that any of you guys catch from the beginning of the show to like when they start revealing their feelings for each other that she was into Tenga?
Yeah, you could kind of tell.
No, I could not tell at all. And so like that caught me by surprise when they're like, "Oh, she likes him." I'm like, "What? Really?"
You can slowly start picking it up, though. I've watched the show through twice, though, so
I think I only noticed when someone said something. I don't think I paid enough attention to her to notice.
But you got the gist of it.
Fun fact, she's also, the person that voice acts her, also voice acts Hawk in Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh my word.
Okay.
I love Hawk's voice so much. If we're talking
It's the
about
same voice actor.
I'm so impressed with Hawk. I can't believe how good the voice acting is for Hawk. So good job, person. Speaking of the voice acting, I was really taken by the child actor for Sonozaki.
Yeah.
Her voice was so interesting and so compelling. And the first scene of the show is of her standing up on that thing and like potentially jumping off, and it was just so gripping, and the voice acting was so good. I was like, yes, I am in it for this show. And then the show just ended up being completely different.
I feel like I should go back and watch at least one episode sub.
I kind of wanted Katsuhira's hair to go back to being brown once he got his feelings back.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Because they turned white once he lost them.
Yeah, and so
then I
did
was
all the other kids that lost them. They all turned into white-haired.
I like his white hair better, though.
It is
Why
cooler.
did his hair still have some brown in it and no one else's did?
Because he didn't lose all his feelings.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just put that together.
Yeah, me too, but it was like, it would make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, now that you mentioned it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
Speaking
boy.
of feelings, do you want some sad feeling trivia?
Yes.
No, but go ahead.
So, the opening, as Shauna has already stated, is
Ugh.
her favorite thing.
I
in the
love
universe.
it. I
so
love
bad.
it. Oh no, it's such a jam. No, I'm like, I need to
It is
just
average.
race. I need to race through the hills and the fields
No.
and
The
the city
fact that you
streets
love it so
listening to
much
this
makes
song
I need to
full
turn
blast.
the station.
Like, Like, I could watch.
It is just like it's generic EDM. That's all
No,
it
I
is.
love
I
it.
would
It's
love
so
it just as much
great.
as you if I
Satellites.
ate like a ton of shrooms right before. Then it would be great.
How
I'm not
dare you
accusing.
accuse me?
I know.
I'm allowed
I
to
know,
like
but-
things. Let me like things.
No, you're not allowed. You have to
Listen.
be the hater on the show. You're our Simon.
Even
Okay,
like-
so the thing I'm trying to say,
Okay, yes.
I want to
unfortunately,
talk about that.
this was the last song recorded by the singer of that group before he died.
Really?
Well, now you make me feel bad for disliking it.
Well, I
don't feel bad
absolutely
about it.
adore
I don't
it,
like
so
very much.
it's okay, guys. I like it enough
You should
for
be ashamed.
everybody.
I do like the
Wow,
visuals
she
of
is
the opening.
she
though.
is
It's
Sonozaki, but for the song, she takes all of her liking for that.
Exactly. I take all of the liking for the opening. Also, the opening,
you
like,
seen
what the
Attack on
heck
Titan?
is the opening? Like,
It's just a fun little like kaleidoscope to show you the multi-layeredness of feelings.
I love it. I think it's a really cool motif.
Visually, it's very
But
it's very distinct. It gives you nothing about the show.
But it kind of, like, that's kind of what the show is. Like, it's all these, like, little motifs that can't decide what it is. And I think that the opening kind of
I
exemplifies
don't think
that.
anything will ever take the title of best opening away from Attack on Titan.
I'm not saying
Because
that
it
the
goes to
opening.
everything?
I'm not saying the opening is the best. I'm saying I love the song, and I think that the opening is distinctive. I think that's different
You
from
said the group
best.
chat best.
Yeah, I said the song is the best because that's an expression you use when you love something, but not like this is the best
Alright.
anime song ever. Listen, step
That
off
belongs
me.
to anything that Asian Kung Fu Generation has done.
Hey, Az,
Yeah,
have you read the
What about the
manga for
ending?
this?
they wrote a manga after.
Did they?
It's not based on a manga.
They wrote a manga after?
Yeah, there's a tie-in manga by Roji Karagishi. Was published simultaneously by Crunchyroll digitally.
Oh.
Never mind, I guess it was simultaneous. But either way, if something's an anime original, I don't typically go and read the manga.
Yeah.
Only if it's a manga original, I will go read the manga.
Yeah.
Would you guys want a season 2 if there was one?
I'd like to go into people's backstories more.
Yeah, I want season 1 done better.
Yeah, I would like a
definitely
24
had a lot
episode
of
season
potential.
instead.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm like, this is a really cool snapshot of like what it could have been, and it's not bad. And it's really good when it's good. It just doesn't know what it is, and it doesn't commit to anything. And I don't like it when things don't commit to something. And like, you can't just force feed me at the end the power of friendship, but not say anything about it. Like, it's not going to resonate me. It's like they're trying to manipulate me to think that this is some grand build-up, but they haven't said anything.
I feel like I would have liked it a lot more if I didn't have to binge the entire show, like, back to back to back.
Yeah.
That's
I did.
probably-
I had a whole
You did
week
that
and
to
I
yourself.
watched
Yeah.
everything.
I'm the same way, though. Like, if I'm under pressure watching it, I'm going to enjoy it
Yeah.
a little bit less. So I
Yeah.
just try to take that out of the equation
Yeah,
and try
so
to
I
look
think I
at
would
it
have liked it more
objectively.
if I had a... No.
KAY Haikyuu is the worst show.
Yeah, I would have liked it a little bit more, too,
Shut
if we
up,
weren't
Az, I heard
reviewing
that.
it.
If I watched it, like I should have, I would have enjoyed it more.
It's fun to watch week to week. I'll say that. When I
I think
originally
it would've-
watched it.
They did some cool things through like the Kizna system, like how they kind of used it to find people,
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool.
and
There
that would
was
have been
so
cool if
much
we could have seen more of
potential in
that.
the concept.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was such a... I wanted the show to be different. I wanted the show to be a different show with this concept. Like, I want
So
the
if
drama
anyone knows
of
anyone
the show.
at Trigger and wants to like get them in contact with Shauna, she's gonna like write the second season.
I'm
She'll
not,
be with a
though.
new set of kids, and a better concept, and it'll be great.
This show did inspire me with my writing, though. Like, the idea of characters that share pain or characters that hold pain for someone else. Just like the broad stroke ideas are really cool, and I think that like they could apply to other projects in ways that would that are very general ways that you could like apply it to your own projects. So I'd recommend it for that reason. It's creatively, it was a little bit inspiring for me. I liked it.
Did anyone enjoy the ending? 'Cause
I don't
enjoyed the
remember
ending.
it.
The ending song, sorry, not like the ending of the show.
Oh, I
Pretty good.
didn't care too much for it.
I don't
Good song.
remember it. Nothing.
It's just visuals of here's all the girls, but not in sexy poses.
Yeah, it was super about Sonozaki, right?
A little bit.
Like there was a lot of
it
her
has
laying around.
You know what was kind of annoying? I wish that it was made clear from the very beginning that Sonozaki was the same age as them.
Did she seem older to you?
It seemed like she could be, but I was pretty sure she was the same age as them. But then I was like, why the heck aren't they questioning the fact that there's a literal teenager telling them that they just had experiments done on them?
Yeah.
Like, why are they not more curious
I didn't
as
think
to
it was
what's
the
going
age
on?
aspect, but I thought it was weird
Yeah.
that they were being experimented on, and then there was like, oh, okay, do you want to go on summer vacation with us? And it's like, what? Like, I don't think that
Exactly.
age is a huge factor. I would be like, I would react way differently no matter how old the person was.
Yeah,
They
it
freaked
was,
out
they-
in the first
They chilled
episode.
out.
but they all just adjusted to it. No one told their parents. No one even thought about like.
Did any of them have parents? Let's be honest.
Yeah, they were just kind of
Yeah,
we
like
hanging
if
out.
they
a
had
single
parents and they
parent
came
in the
home and
show.
they had huge scars on, like, all on their arms, would none of them be like, hey, are you okay?
Well, they
They
did the
did show them
classic
covering
like,
them
oh,
up.
my parents are on
All
a
of
business
them?
trip.
All 7 of
Like
them
that's
all
always
at
the
once?
reason. It's a big
They
business.
all
Not all
covered
of them.
themselves up though. Remember, they made a big deal about that. What do you mean not all? They
Katsuhiro
all covered
didn't,
up
I
their
don't think.
scars
Did he?
in public.
Katsuhiro didn't.
It's because he lives alone. His parents are on a business trip.
Nobody
I was about
pays
to say,
attention
like,
to him
when-
except Chidori.
I was about to be like, wouldn't the school counselor or
Sonozaki,
something say
so-
something? And I'm like, oh, she's a part of it.
Yeah, she's in on it.
It was all a little bit,
Oh.
just a little bit like. I get that it's a little bit tongue in cheek, like you're supposed to just accept it, but that was a little jarring that everyone just kind of accepted very quickly that, hey, we're in this experiment, we haven't been wronged in any way, let's just go along with it, and you're supposed to just accept it as the audience. Like, that's made very clear very early.
And like the ending of the show is like just wrapped up very nicely. Like, oh yeah, all that stuff about like her taking over the city and connecting with
It's
everybody.
fine.
It's good. It's okay.
Fine, let's go to the mall and have some fun.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense, like, her connecting with everyone, because they didn't really tie it in. Were only like, if she connects with everyone, she'll die. And then there was no follow-up.
I don't think she would
End of
die.
the world.
She would just be like a vegetable, basically, right?
Well,
Like
they
the
were just like,
others.
she'll break. Like it's major. Like, there will be no coming back from it. But then it's just
Yeah.
like, the power of friendship. Ooh, ah,
Literal
over.
sensory overloads.
Yeah, she's like the One Ring from Lord of the Rings.
The one feel to rule all feels. The one
Yeah,
meep
exactly.
to rule all meeps.
That's right. They even mentioned meeps, and this whole thing is about feelings.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if our listeners know what meeps are. Have we explained them?
No, we don't need
I think we did.
I
If
No,
they
think
want to
last
know, they'll
I
find
think
us.
we made it obvious.
Okay. What is everyone's out of 10 rating for this show? Tim?
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Cool.
I thought it was good, not great, and there's like the parts I like about the show I really like, but
Yep.
there's just a whole bunch of like, that kind of feels that.
Yeah.
So
As?
It's a 7 for me too. I really like the show, but also, like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of wasted potential.
I always forget how the scale
Weebeth?
works. What is, like...
5
then
is
5 is
perfectly
literal
average.
I was very... Not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed. I was just kind of, like, bored. I was just bored the whole time.
Along
but
for the
also,
ride.
like, entertained enough to get through it.
I'm
Have
gonna-
you watched Breakfast Club? Okay. Did you get the
Um,
same feeling from it?
I mean, when I think back to it, I haven't seen Breakfast Club in, like, 6 years.
Breakfast Club is more contained though.
And Breakfast Club, you get backstory on everybody.
Yeah.
We should review
It's also
Breakfast
like
Club.
a movie.
Yes.
Oh, wait, we just did.
This was
But you
Breakfast
get-
Club.
you
Anime
get-
Breakfast Club.
But I mean, if you add up all the episodes for
Yeah.
Kiznaiver, isn't
Oh,
that
yeah,
longer than the
way
movie was?
longer.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and there's not as much backstory.
Yeah.
Which is
Which
frustrating.
is my our biggest complaint that we've gone over multiple times.
Yeah.
I was gonna give it a 7 until the last arc of the show, and it knocked it down to a 6 for me. I'm gonna give it a 6 of 10 because I do not like being force-fed last-ditch theme at the end, like trying to manipulate me into thinking something is like inspiring or moving when it isn't. And it just bothers me that they wasted all their potential, and they wasted their good characters that we could have really cared about if we had been given more context for them. But it was better than average, and like Tim said, the good things were good. So I'll give it a 6.
Oh, Az, you didn't even talk about the episode titles.
They're kind of weird.
Yeah, they are. And like, I
Very
couldn't even
weird.
read them because they were like, they'd pop up so fast.
Yeah, and they're huge. Like, for instance, episode 2 is called If You Can Swallow a Bizarre Situation Like This So Easily, 2 buckets of barium shouldn't be a problem.
I love that title.
Episode
like
7 is
such
a
an-
really wild one.
That is such
What's
an
episode
anime
7?
thing.
A battle touching upon the identity of the pain that's 7 times the pain of 1/7 of a pain.
I love
I
it.
hate it.
I love that.
I hate it.
I love it because
I hate it.
There's also like some really beautiful like shots in the show, like
Oh,
when
yeah.
he's meeting the kids again,
Mhm.
and he's kind of, it's like set up where he's like centered, he's really far away, and you have like the big arc over them, and like you have his friends now that are behind him, and then the people that he was friends with in front of him, and he's just kind of in the middle of that, and it's just a really beautiful shot.
Also, in general, I really liked all the flashbacks to the kids. I thought that they were eerie and endearing at the same time. So it was kind of a letdown when, like, we didn't get more eerie or endearingness from that, like, the backstory of
Yeah.
the first experiment kids, because that was so cool. And I really liked how they chose to reveal it. And I really liked, like I said, the Sonozaki's voice actor as a kid.
Yeah, that was a really beautiful moment, because that's when he cries too. He finally like feels emotional pain like by himself.
Mm.
When was this again? Remind me?
It's when he gets like the full like, oh, you guys were, what do you, I think
He
when
gets
the
backstory.
female
when
researcher
he remembers
reveals
them.
Yeah. And then he realizes what's become of them, and he like begins to cry.
Do you guys understand why Sonozaki wanted to jump off things all the time? Can that be explained to me?
Well, you see, when you feel a lot of emotional pain,
She wasn't wanting to kill herself, was she?
I think so.
I don't know.
I
think
don't
like
know.
the emotions would overwhelm her so much that she.
I wish that was clearer, because it felt like it was just like they were trying to do it for shock value, but it didn't actually mean anything because it didn't ever talk about her pain properly.
The first time it would have probably made sense if that was the case, but then like doing it a second time, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Maybe the second time is because she knew he'd come save her. Okay, that's kind of a write-off.
No, because she was doing all that stuff about connecting with people because she wanted to take their pain away. She was trying to prove the Kizna system was efficient or that it would work.
So why would she want to go up on the giant bridge and jump at the end if she was trying to connect everybody and prove that it worked? I don't know. The ending doesn't make any sense.
The ending's not very good.
No.
Okay. Anyone have a similar show they want to recommend? I mean, nothing is really like this show, but if
Yes,
they're...
go watch Everything Trigger's Done because they have such a distinct visual style and it's always great to look at.
Watch Haikyuu.
Watch Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann too. Even though it's not technically Trigger,
It looks
by
like
most of the
this.
people that worked
I really
on
think
it.
if you like this, you'd like Haikyuu.
Yes.
Always. I don't really know too many shows like this. I guess Violet Evergarden's pretty similar. The one that we've reviewed already.
Emotions.
Yeah, emotions. Feeling things. And she's kind of similar in a way to Sonozaki.
Yeah.
Like they almost sound the same too. But
I think.
yeah, I think so. I think it was better. Not
There were
maybe
more
not much
There's more
better.
explosions.
But
The art
Weeb.
though, like nothing.
The art
comes
was
close
beautiful.
to
Animation
I
was
love
great.
that.
Art, in my opinion.
It was a
so
movie
good.
studio working on
It was so,
a show
so
for a
good.
very long time.
It was so beautiful. That is one of my
Speaking
favorite
of
styles.
Violet, something has happened since we recorded it, because we recorded it so long ago, but by the time you guys watch it, it'll be quite a bit after this incident. The studio that worked on Violet, they suffered what is called a terrorist attack.
Yes.
So the movie got delayed, and yeah, just like send your love to those people, and if you want, donate to them.
Yeah, it's
because-
Kyoto Animation.
Yes, Kyoto Animation.
I think that Crunchyroll has information on how to donate and stuff on their website if you're interested. I think that that's where you can go if you're looking for information on that, because I saw them tweeting about it a lot.
This is going to be very untimely as when this releases, but I think that's important to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
that we did not know when we recorded it because it was back in time and it had not happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good time for us to plug all of our social stuff. Everyone, please, if you're listening and you get this far, please leave a comment. We would love to hear what you think of our chats on these shows, what you think of the shows, if you agree or disagree with things that we've said about the shows. We'd love to hear your suggestions about which shows to review. Basically, anything you want to let us know, you can let us know on our SoundCloud or
Follow us on Twitter.
follow us on Twitter. We're the AIR We Weeb there, and we're the AIR We Weeb on SoundCloud. And we are the AIR We Weeb at gmail.com if you want to just send us an
We
email.
have a second email. What is it as? I forget it.
No!
You don't have. Oh.
No,
You mean
stop.
our the great email of our great sponsor,
Yeah,
Failed
that's
Squared at
It is a
nanoland.ca.
real email.
It's not a real
Try
email.
that.
Stop.
It's not a real email.
It's not real.
It's just a stupid joke I'm gonna say until we eventually get pulled off the air.
Did you put that in the first episode?
It's in every episode,
And it will be in every episode.
Well, now we gotta get Chris to watch it.
just for Chris.
All right, who's got a weeb word? Is it Tim?
Oh, I think I do.
Yay.
So, because of the theme of the episode, for like empathy and all that, I have kimochi. Kimochi means feelings.
Oh,
So now you know.
Mochi.
the weeb word of the
Isn't
day.
that also a food?
I think that's something.
Mochi is
yeah.
a food. It's like an ice cream covered in gooey, like
I got some mochi ice
springy,
cream the other
ricey
day.
stuff.
To be honest, guys, I'm just using
I got
Google
mochi ice cream
Translate,
the
so
other day.
this is probably not the most reliable source.
Don't Google that word. Don't worry about it, okay? Okay, do you want me just to say it?
The weeb word of the day.
So now you know. So now you know. So now you know.